Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we're back. And when I say back, I mean, well, we are back, but we're not back for anything Pokemon related. We're back for something a little bit different. As you can see, clearly, we are jumping into TEW, something that has been a love of mine for many, many years. It's come and gone, and it's come back. Yeah, massive wrestling fan. Always been a WWE guy ever since I was a wee little boy when it was WWF. And then I'd say around my mid to late teens, I discovered that it's not just WWE. There's other stuff out there, which opened my mind to New Japan, DDT, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground when that was a thing. Yeah, just a bunch of UK shows because, as you can tell, I'm English, even though I am the French Ted. And then obviously AEW became a thing a couple years ago, and it's just gone from strength to strength, and it's everything I kind of wish WWE still was. Don't get me wrong, WWE is fine. I don't watch it anywhere near as much as I used to. This is definitely my weekly show, and I figured, why not do a TEW save from a game I love, with a sport I love, and do the show that I currently love. So yeah, here we are, TEW, AEW with the French TED. Yeah, so we're starting in April, as you can see up here. I have made a few changes to the real world mod that I'm using. So, I mean, Collision, the Saturday show, is pretty much going to happen. So we can go through and I can show you all the mini changes I've made. But things like Jay White has been added because he has recently signed for AEW. Roderick Strong is here, although I think I might put him on holiday for a little while because he doesn't actually debut, I think, until May. CM Punk is still on the roster, but I think he's away at the moment. All the championships are as of the beginning of April, so FTR aren't the tag team champions. Wardlow's not the TNT champion. I think that's the only change from real life. Yes. But anyway, let's just dive into this. Let's go section by section just to kind of show you any changes I've done or anything that I want to kind of discuss. This is more of an introductory episode. Think of this as an episode 0. I'll throw a few ideas and plans out there and we'll go from there. Cool. So brand split we're going to ignore, but there are 2 brands that I've created, which are Dynamite and Collision. They are currently not a thing in real life and in this save. However, looking at the sheer size of the AEW roster, I'm thinking either I'm going to have to make some cuts, maybe send some people back down to Ring of Honor or whatever developmental system we want to make, or we might have to brand split. So yeah, we'll see how my storylines and the shape of the business becomes in the coming, let's say, month or 2. We'll give it 2 months at least. Maybe. We'll see. If real world catches up to me and there's a brand split announced, I might throw one into my game just to kind of keep it semi-real. But as we get further into this project, it's going to get much more French Teddy. But yeah, let's not press any of this because we do not want that to happen. Chemistry is going to be empty. Let's check our creative. Let's see what people are feeling and thinking about the current roster we have. So this is a real world roster. No one new that doesn't belong here is here. But as the series goes on, I will be looking to sign some of my favorite independent talent, as well as maybe steal a few big names from other companies. But so franchise players, we've got Punk at the top. Obviously MJF is nice and high. We like to see our world champion at the top. Bryan Danielson, of course, he's a star, and Jon Moxley. Yeah, that makes sense. Weird that there's not 5. That's a little bit scary for me because, yeah, you would have thought there'd be a 5th name there. You know, you've got Kenny's, you've got Chris Jericho. I mean, they're the first 2 that come to mind, but there's a whole host of people that could be there. But our job is to get a 5th person there. Why not? Next big things. Again, only 4. Strange. Hook. Yeah, I don't really get Hook, if I'm being honest. Like, I get it, but it's not my cup of tea. So we'll see what we do with Hook in the series. I'm going to try and give everyone a fair crack. I'm going to try and not be biased, but seeing as though I am the old TK Tony Khan as the owner and booker, I guess I can kind of do what the fuck I want, let's be honest. Next is Konosuke Takeshita. I think it's Takeshita, not Takeshita. Takeshita. He's great. I've seen him in DDT a bunch. Recently on TV, he's managed to get some limelight with the Elite, which I'm loving. So I hope that continues. Bandido again. Bandido's a beast of a human. Honestly, that man can flippy and he can pick uppy and throwy. Yeah, that makes sense. Great talent. I'll be looking to kind of use him for a while. Nick Wayne as well. Super young. I think he's like 18. Can we click on him? Yeah, he's 17. So he hasn't turned 18 yet. Actually, I think he turns 18 in a couple of weeks because I think AEW signed him on his 18th, like mid-April. So Nick Wayne, that's one for the next 20 years, let's say. Hot prospects. I always don't really understand the difference between these two. Here we go. Our younger members of the roster who have been marked as stars of the future. What does this one say? Who are likely to be future superstars. Okay. I mean, so this is like the one under. But Hook, again, maybe there's something I'm missing when it comes to Hook. But oh well. Jamie Hayter. I love to see Jamie Hayter there. She's great. Big talent. Probably one of the best in our women's roster, which is something I'm so looking forward to just expanding on and building because there's so much talent out there across many promotions. And I'm going to try and build like a proper decent women's roster with stories and high ratings. And yeah. Takeshita's there again, Nick Wayne's there again, and Satnam Singh. Really? Oh, if I'm being honest, I don't think I was planning on ever putting this man in a match. Although, yeah, we'll see. Why not? If he's a hot prospect, we'll give him a go. A go? I meant to say whirl. Give him a whirl. Talk the talk. These are our microphone aficionados. So yeah, CM Punk, MJF, top ones make sense. Chris Jericho. Surprised he's not maybe in the top 2, but that makes sense. John Moxley on the mic, never really got it. I get it. He's got the charisma and he's got like the swagger, I guess. But I've never been blown away by a Moxley promo. Where Bryan Danielson, on the other hand, great. This makes sense. I figured it'd be something like this, and I feel like Showstoppers will be similar-ish. Maybe take MJF out, put Kenny in. Okay, MJF is up there. Sorry, I mean. Yeah, that's on me. Kenny's at the top, that makes sense. Brian's at the top, that makes sense. Punk there's good. Seeing one of the Bucks is good there. I mean, they're both fantastic. I've got a really fun Elite storyline in mind, and I just hope it works. But it's a pretty long-term one, so we'll see. Ring Generals, this is pretty much the same as these, I guess. These are probably just more consistency, I guess. Relied upon to carry you in the deadliest of deadweight. Okay, Brian, Kenny, Punk, and then both of FTR. So basically, you put FTR in a tag match with anyone, and they'll do the numbers. And now the who's hot and who's not. So I'm assuming this will be based off of the real world mod because I haven't played with anyone's heat or momentum. So let's see who's hot. Action Andretti makes sense. I think he was killing it and then just disappeared. I think he's in Ring of Honor. Putting in the work. MJF makes sense. Jade Cargill, she's on like a 700 streak run, so yeah, that makes sense. Roderick Strong has heat, even though he's yet to debut with us. That's interesting. Maybe that was pulled from his time in NXT. Either way, doesn't matter. And Preston Vance, okay. And who's not? Andrade, that makes sense. Miro, that makes sense. I mean, neither of them have been seen for a long time. I think Andrade's injured at the moment. We'll go through that in a sec. And Miro, Miro, not a happy bunny, is he? And then Hidden Gems. Let's just see who they throw out there. It takes a while. Okay. Denzel Dejournette, never heard of him. Trish Adora, I have heard and seen her wrestle. She's decent. Diona Purazzo is someone who I'm definitely looking to sign in the future. Jacob Fatu also is another exciting young man from the old MLW. And Calvin Tankman, never heard of either. But there must be something about these people, especially Denzel being right at the top. But yeah, that is our creative. The figurehead, we don't have one. Product, it's the generic AEW product that we all see. I think one thing to note is we have to have at least 3 different match aims to be used. And obviously regular work the crowd, calm the crowd, lift the crowd do not count. So maybe throw a few high spots, car crashes, brawls, things like that in the product. Roster we'll just skim through in a moment. Stables, all relatively the same as what they are in real life. The only changes I made was obviously I added Bullet Club Gold, which is just the 2 of these lads for now. Nothing else has really changed. Oh, Mogul Affiliates, they started working with Brian Cage and his lot. So I've added Brian Cage. I haven't added I don't know what they're called, the something of infamy. Is it Gates of Infamy, something like that? I haven't added them because I couldn't be asked. I'm not really planning on using anyone outside of these 2 when it comes to any Mogul Affiliate storylines, if they even get any. The Acclaimed, we've added Daddy Arse, renamed him as well, because why not? Apparently this isn't their official name, the Global Force. But that's what they've called them in the mod, so that's what we're going to call them, because I think good old Double J had Global Force Wrestling, didn't he? A while back. Was thinking of adding the Briscoe boy here, but he's technically not a member yet, if he even becomes one. So he'll stay as a solo bro. And yeah, then the Wingmen, who are the world's best jobbers, let's be honest. Storylines, I'm not going to click on that because I do not want you to see one I've got planned. Teams, pretty straightforward. It's basically everyone that we would have. They're Gates of Agony, not Infamy. These guys, yeah. I do like them, but I just don't want them paired there. Titles, we've got the International of Orange Cassidy, TBS Jade Cargill. As I said, Hobbs has got it, and you can see the Guns have it as well because, yeah. And then we got Hook, and then we've got the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments with only one winner because it only existed since last year. Tournaments, there's no tournaments. Announcers, now this is what I wanted to look at. So events is fine. Dynamite TV, that's same as normal. Rampage TV is now our B show. So I might change this. So it used to be Paul White and Matt Menard, but I don't want to give Matt Menard that. Mark Henry isn't being, or Ian Ricciaboni isn't being used. Let's do a Mark Henry and Paul White Big Show as our Rampage announcers, and Collision is basically the same. Let's mix it up. Who should we take out? Tony's good for interviews, so I'll take him out and we'll put Jim Ross. He can start working a TV show instead of just the events. Cool. Broadcasting, it's all very much the same. I've just given what Rampages were to Collision, and then Rampage is now a YouTube only, like it would be for AEW Dark, which we can see here. So Dark and Dark Elevation have been made dormant. Battle of the Belts is something I'm keen to just bring up every now and then, kind of like they do in real life. They'll be like, oh, let's just throw in a special Battle of the Belts, but with mine there'll be actual pay-per-views and they'll happen Fridays. So you'll get an episode of Rampage, for example, 1 hour Rampage, and then afterwards will be a 2 hour or hour and a half, I haven't decided yet, Battle of the Belts. So that will kind of be used in between things like this, where I feel like I could plan a big show that makes sense, or a big-ish show that makes sense. I think it's more of a TV special than anything else. But yeah, whenever I want to switch it on, I can just go modify and turn it on. So for example, I do actually have one planned for week 3 of April already. So you know what? Let's turn it on. It's a lesser event. That's fine. Defend all valid titles. Save. Cool. So that's happening in 3 weeks, and it might update. Not yet. But yeah, so Dynamite every Wednesday, Rampage B show every Friday, and Collision, there's no picture for it, but who cares, is another show on Saturday. So that's 2 2-hour shows, and then obviously Rampage. And then these are the preset events. All Out is our season finale. That's our WrestleMania for all of you guys. Just thinking what else is worth looking at aside from the roster, which we can do at the end, but company info we don't need to know about. Let's look at our medical. There we go. So this is everyone that is out for now. So Abaddon's broken collarbone. Ooh, shall we perform surgery? CM Punk is out for 42 days, so just over a month, and then he should be back. Andrade's out for just around a month. That's cool. We'll get Andrade back soon. Dante Martin. It's annoying that he's out for ages because I'd really like him and his bro. Let's do these low risk surgeries. Why not? Complete success. 14 days. Chris Statland is out for 2.5 months. Complete success. And now it's okay, just under 2 months. Ooh, Kyle O'Reilly's. This is very high risk. I'm not gonna mess with that. Because I would like Kyle O'Reilly back sooner rather than later. Annoying that that's 3.5 months. But if I do this, they'll face a longer recovery. So I'm not going to do that yet. I might be talked into it, but I'm not going to do it. And then this is, everyone else that's out. A few people will be back. They can work angles. Yeah, that's all good. House shows, merchandise, owner goals, productions, promises, ticket prices, training facilities. Cool. I think everything else is all good. I'm going to build up a big old shortlist just so I can keep an eye on talent that have contracts expiring, injuries, relationships, things like that. Oh, here we go. You can see it's updated now. AEW Battle of the Belts 5 in 18 days. So now let's do our thing and look at the roster. I feel like this is the best way to look at the roster. So let's go any in-ring role and we'll just go from major stars down to non-major stars. So these are our top 4. That makes sense. They were our franchise players anyway. And then we will jump to our stars search. Again, a small pool of stars. This is one of my not issues with the AEW roster, and you'll see this in a moment. We've got a lot of mid-card, upper mid-card talent that I like, but I can't see being like the top guy right now. I guess that's my job to make them the top guy. And then we've just got so many. There's like a huge gap. So you'll see. So we've got these. Like, Sting's not really a wrestler, but he'll be in the ring. Don't worry, guys. And then our well-known. So this is what I like to think of. This is like our upper card. And then the top 2. So star and major star are like main eventers and headliners. This is our upper card. So we've got some good names here. Christian, Darby Allin, Claudio, Eddie Kingston. Love the guy. Jay White. Mwah, my boy. Keith Lee. Oh, look at that. Beautiful man. I'm glad he's not dyeing his hair anymore. Miro's in here as well. Ray Fenix. I love Ray Fenix. Penta. We love Penta. Pac. All of Death Triangle here. Sammy Guevara. Wardlow. I honestly couldn't give a shit about Wardlow. Gonna be honest. But he does the work, so that's a win. And then you'll just see here how big this list gets. Like, this is a roster in itself. Let's be honest. Look at that. And you've got some great talent here. Like, Roderick Strong, he'll definitely get a push. The Hardys, Max Caster and good old Anthony Bowens. Yuta Wheeler, Butcher and the Blade. I really like the Butcher and the Blade. Not many people do, but I do. Sean Spears can, piss off. Riho, we love Riho. I mean, Jim Cornette doesn't, but we do. This is a roster in itself, let's be honest. And that's not even it, guys. Unimportant. So these are effectively our jobbers and openers. Actually, when we say openers, these are our pre-showers. Because you don't want to open with jobbers because that will piss the crowd off. But look, again, this is a roster in itself again. Insanity. This is why I think a brand split could be the way forward. Or we could just sack off a bunch of people. But we'll see. If you wanted to look at any of those rosters before, just go back and pause. But you can see here we have 140 workers, and that's not even including any of our backroom people. Speaking of backroom people, I just wanted to check something because this is something that screwed me over in previous saves. Road agents. I'm just checking to make sure all of these are actually decent road agents. Yeah, okay, cool. Because I found in the past that you'll have like a 22-year-old wrestler that you've hired and you've done like available to work anything, and it turns out they think they're a road agent, but they're not. And then you'll do a main event, and for some reason they'll be randomly selected to be your road agent, and it pulls the rating down. And I'm not going to take that risk. But yeah, this is my AEW TEW French TED save. The next episode will be coming out probably same day, because this is a waste of an episode if it's just on its own. And each episode I will do a week at a time. So in that episode you'll have Dynamite followed by Collision, and in between those I'll just do a quick recap of Rampage. In all honesty, Rampage isn't going to be anything special or exciting, which is why I'm not going to show it. I'll just have the post-show rundown. I'm mostly going to use that to just build momentum for people that I'm not using at the moment in storylines or on the main shows. And I think that's how it should be used. But yeah, that's everything. Please let me know in the comment section what you're looking forward to, who you want me to push, who you maybe don't want me to push. If you've got any ideas about a brand split, if you'd like something like that in the save. And also, are there any unknown indie wrestlers that you know that you think, oh, I'd fucking love them to be in AEW? Well, with this game, you can make it happen. So let's just have a little look at Tony before we say goodbye. Hi, Tony. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.